Hello, fellow ink drinkers, and welcome back to the Blind Girls Book Talk podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who love reading and love books. And so what we've done is we've decided to create this show in order to talk about that. We talk about a wide variety of bookish topics, and that can range from bad retellings of stories, book to movie adaptation comparisons, buddy reads, recent reads, bookish challenges. Really, the list does go on and on. And today, Belle is back.
Yay!
So we both apologize for not uploading an episode last time, or like essentially we've skipped a week between the last episode and this episode, and we do apologize for that. But here's what happened.
It's a lot.
Okay, so essentially Belle had stayed up home for a lot longer than anticipated and had a lot of health problems.
My body decided it was going to just reject me and try to shut down.
And so essentially she was up a lot longer than anticipated. And when she came back down, the day she was they were supposed to come down sooner than what they did, but then the health problems.
It was one after the other. Like, it's not even like my body was like trying to shut down. It was my body rejecting me. My body said, I was so good to you while you were in law school. Now I'm going to just get every weird thing that happened to you. Like, I had a root canal done years ago and my crown kept falling off. And apparently while I was eating a brownie, my crown came off. And I just found the crown gone. And so we went to the doctor and the doctor looked at it and he's like, okay, I'll just x-ray it. He x-rays it. There's still infection. Excuse me, what? The dentist who did it didn't get all the infection.
Yeah.
So I had to get a retreatment done, and then on top of that, what happened after that? Something else happened after that, and then another thing happened, and then I was supposed to do this boat race for her father, but then I got something else wrong with me.
Yeah,
like,
there were so many. There were so many. Like, did the things happen? Yes.
Oh, my eyeball tried to give out on me. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, you had a time. And
I had a time.
And so they were supposed to come back down to where we're currently living a lot earlier than what they did. And then when they did come back, I was just like, no, it's okay. Like, we'll have a little bit of time that we can just quickly record something and it'll be fine.
No.
That didn't happen. For the past 2 weeks, life has been pure and total chaos. It has been pure insanity.
Belle was given a hammer.
And other tools.
I was given other tools. I was trusted with heavy machinery. Not really heavy machinery.
Not really. Heavy machinery for you.
Yes, heavy machinery. I was given a big boy hammer.
Uh-huh. Yep. And so that has just been like a whole time. Things are slowly starting to maybe consider going back to normal.
They better be, because we gotta be somewhat ready for company in a couple days.
Yep. But all in all, though, like, we're getting there. It's happening. Things are happening. It's okay. Things are occurring. So essentially, because of that, the podcast just didn't happen, and that's okay. Like, sometimes life just happens, and you just got to get through it and then come back. So that's what we had to do. So that being said, because we are in the middle of June, give or take, what we wanted to do was we wanted to talk about just kind of our reading road so far. And the reading slump is real for me. It's very bad. Everything's very not great. It's kind of terrible. So I'll run through mine first, and then Belle will run through hers. So in January, that is the most books I've read so far. I read 10 books in January. And the ones that stood out to me, of course, were The Last Level to Die, which is another Thursday Murder Club book. I love Thursday Murder Club. That book punched me in the feelings. Times were had. I was very sad. A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. That book was really, really good. I believe it's by Sarah Hawley or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But I thought it was really cute. I like the fake dating trope. You know, it checked a lot of boxes for me. So I thought it was a really cute book. And the other one that I wanted to call out for January was The King of Coins. That is part of I forget what the actual series is called. But it's on Kindle Unlimited. I've read so far all of the books in that series, I believe. And I really enjoy that series. It's kind of like Venice, but it's kind of like an alternate reality kind of Venice. And the different suits of the tarot deck kind of make up like the different like factions of this Venice, and it's really fun read. It's, you know, fantasy, there's romance, it's a good time. Like, all in all, I enjoy this series, so I'm always going to recommend it. In February, I read 2 books. Two. And
to be fair, we moved in February.
But yeah, the first book I read is a book called Inked, and it was all right. Again, because I was moving and everything was crazy, I feel like I couldn't give like a fair shake to some books, and that's okay. But it was a really cute story, I think, in my opinion. And then the other book that I really enjoyed was Happily Ever Witch, which that is part of the Kind of Fairy Tale series. I like that series. The author, I believe, is Cassandra Gannon, I think is how you say the last name. I like that author. Like, it's just things I've talked about before, but I continue to enjoy, and so therefore I'll call it out. In March, I read 4 books, total of 4. And the one that I really, really loved was Pretty Rings and Broken Things. I forget who the author is, but I read another one of their books before, and I forget the name of that one. Black Ties and White Lies. So yeah, I really enjoyed that book. I enjoyed that author. Again, stuff I've talked about before, and it still works out really well. In April, I read 4 books, total of 4. And the book that I actually really, really enjoyed, that I thought might have broken the reading slump, was The Blonde Identity. I want to say it's Allie Carter, but I could be wrong as the author. Pretty much, it's about a girl who she has amnesia, and she gets kind of dragged into like the spy world, and it just times are had. I laughed a lot. I just thought it was a really fun read, a really good book. I believe I talked about it before, but yeah, I do recommend that one highly. And I thought I was going to break the reading slump. And then we hit May, and I only read 5 books. And so, like, all of them, though, I enjoyed in one way or another. The first one I read was The Mystery of Miss Christie. That book was kind of like a fictionalized version of when Agatha Christie disappeared. And it kind of went back and forth between like 2 different timelines, essentially. But it was a really good read. Like, I was really enjoying it. And then I got to like the end, and the ending happened, and I was just like, oh, things are going down. Like, I just need to like finish this. And I finished it like in one night. So I really enjoyed that book. I do recommend that one. The next one is License to Bite, and I do not remember the author for that one. But that one, of course, it was like a vampire romance and about a girl getting turned into a vampire. I mean, again, I like vampire stories. I liked it. I thought it was a really good time. That's just me. You might have a different opinion, and that's okay. But, I mean, that's why I liked it. The next one was The Picture of Dorian Gray, which Belle actually missed the Belle Recommends episode on that.
Did.
But I did say I do want to do a bad retelling of the picture.
It's a funny book.
Of the Picture of Dorian Gray.
Okay, I find it funny, but then again, my sense of humor is very warped.
Yeah, because I times were had in that book.
I found some humor.
Times were had in
I
that
found
book.
it humorous at times.
So, but I did enjoy it, though. Like I said when I did the Belle Recommends episode. Overall, I'm glad I read it, but, like, that would not have been a book I would have picked on my own at all. The next book was The Ever King. That one was kind of like a fae. There was kind of like pirate-ish. Different kind of things, like enemies to lovers kind of deal. I thought it was a fun read. I mean, I enjoyed it personally. I don't know, like it was one of the ones, and I think this is where the reading slump comes in, right? Is because, like, all of these books that I've been talking about and I've been reading, like, if I was in a different mindset than, like, trying to get through a reading slump, I think that I would have enjoyed them much more than I did, which I know that sounds like harsh, and it's nothing about the book. Like, the thing is, the book couldn't have done anything differently to make me like it better. I guess when I'm trying to, like, go through a reading slump, or when I'm in the middle of a reading slump and it's really, really hard to read, the books, if I would read them any other time, it would be like, oh, I really enjoyed that. Like, that was a good book. That was a good book. Like, and it would just kind of keep going that way. When I'm in the middle of the reading slump, I feel like I'm more critical in a way, but not in a way where it's like I can point to, like, there's a problem. For me, it's kind of like, I mean, the book was all right, but, like, it just wasn't it for me, you know? And it's not that the book did anything wrong. It's not that the author did anything wrong. Like, they put a lot of time and effort into their stories. It's just, it didn't fully click with me, I guess is the best way to describe it. And that's not on the book, that's on me. Like, that's why going through a reading slump just kind of sucks, because there are books that I would really enjoy. And, like, I've had a lot of books that I've started and I've DNF'd. Like, I just can't get through them. And again, that's the whole reading slump-ness of it all. Like, me going through a reading slump and finishing the book is honestly a testament to the book. Like, it might not have clicked with me, but I finished it, as opposed to DNFing it, because there are so many that I'm just like, I can't do it. DNF. And it's just a times are had. The last book I read last month was The Naga Next Door, monster romance. It's from an author I've read before. It was cute. I liked it. I mean, I like monster romances, though, so, you know, it would have to be really not great for me to not enjoy it. But yeah, so, and I've read no books so far this month, and we're in the middle of the month. We're doing great. I've DNF'd about 5 books.
I've DNF'd a couple this month.
It's not been great. We're not doing well. And this is the first year that I actually put, like, on my Goodreads. I did the whole reading challenge thing. And my Goodreads is like, you're like 50 books behind schedule. And I'm just like, huh. Well,
That's why I didn't do Goodreads this year.
Well, and you said you weren't going to.
No.
So, like, it makes sense. But I'm like, the one year. And I'm going through a major reading slump that is killing me slowly. but it's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. I'll force you to read something. You have 2 things that you need to read coming up.
I know, and I've gotta get my life together.
The one thing you should like, and the other thing we both should like. Well, let's put it this way. If you don't like the one thing, I'm disowning you, and you have to find another place to live.
Well, no, and see, like, here's the other thing, too, right? Is that I have been reading things. Also, too, I've been trying to read things for this reading challenge that we've been trying to do.
That you've been trying to do?
That I've been trying to do. And the thing is that I don't know how to fix my I don't know how to make things better, because the thing is, I feel like I love that reading challenge. I think it's a really good one, but I feel like it's also just like my brain is like, okay, you have to get through all of these books. And then my brain is just like, but I don't want to do that. And so therefore it's just kind of like this cycle where it's just like, well, I don't want to do it, so I'm just not going to read. So I don't know, like, if I just need to give up on that or like
Probably, yes.
what I need to do. Because like something's not working. And the fact that I have a book podcast and I'm going through a reading slump is just killer. It's not going well.
Good.
It's not going well for me. That's just me. Now, Belle, on the other hand, how many books have you read so far this year, Belle?
Give me a second.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to be a sassy Sue here in a second.
Okay, I want to preface everything by saying I have read a lot of novellas.
Uh-huh.
Like less than 100 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So individual titles on Kindle alone, I've read 156 reads.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Rage.
A lot of them are novellas.
But see, the thing is that, like, I don't know, like, I don't know.
We're also not going to be talking about a lot of these because they are not for other humans.
No, I want to know now what weird things you've been reading.
No, I'm just going to touch on the ones that I really liked. So I read a lot of Pride and Prejudice retellings.
Okay.
Some notable ones are Mr. Darcy's Bookshop. That's a very good one.
That sounds cute.
It is actually, it's really cool. Spoilers. So instead, it has Darcy's father still being alive.
Oh.
And so it's his father is like, you have to marry your cousin, like, you have to marry Anne. And Darcy's like, no. And his father's like, well, then you're on your own. And so he goes and starts a bookshop.
Dishonor.
He's like pretty much cut off. But then like Wickham's still around because his father's still around. So Wickham is like pretty much like not telling anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're trying to get him to come back. Like they're like, okay, you don't have to marry Anne. You can come back. And Wickham is not letting like any of Georgiana's letters get to Darcy or anything like that. So he owns this bookshop. It's where he meets Elizabeth, and they like each other and everything.
They hit it off.
Yeah. It's very cute. I liked the ending because it had Darcy coming to inherit because he finds out his father's really sick. Turns out Wickham was poisoning him and hired a nurse to poison him. So like that's why he was dying. He doesn't die. He lives. It's really cute though. It ends on Christmas, and it ends pretty much with Anne, Fitzwilliam's father, Mr. Darcy, Georgiana, and Anne's father all showing up to Longbourn to have Christmas dinner. And so like it's so cute because like Anne is the one who like eventually just like he pretty much told all of us that if he's marrying you, and like he never talked to Elizabeth about any of this. So it's like it's very cute. I very much enjoyed that one.
I also, give me a second, I gotta go through. I read Butcher and Blackbird. Butcher and Blackbird.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm. I read that. I got it when it was on Kindle Unlimited. And I just didn't read it for the longest time. I read it. I really liked it. It did get to me. It was getting close to some lines I didn't know I had. It was getting pretty close, but it was also probably because of what I was eating while I was reading it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Don't eat barbecue while you read it.
No.
Don't do that. But I really liked it. I got the second one. Super excited to read that. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta hunt. A lot of Pride and Prejudice retellings. Oh my goodness, a lot. Oh, here's a very short novella that I thought was really funny. It's called In the Stacks, and it's a modern Pride and Prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Bennets who own a library.
Oh, that's cute.
Or little bookshop. And Bingley and Jane lock Darcy and Elizabeth in the back room together because they know Darcy likes her and knows Elizabeth will like Darcy. So they lock them in for like an hour.
Fun.
And it's like super cute because like they iron out all their issues. It's quite cute. I enjoyed it. It was very short. A bit too short for my liking. But I thought it was very cute. Oh my goodness. So many that I am not talking
So
about.
many.
So many.
I wish I had that problem.
I'm trying to go for the ones that I really remember.
The other problem, I think,
Not that I don't remember all of these. It's the ones that like I want to
like
talk
looking
about.
at it, it's just like that.
Yeah, it's the ones like that. I loved that. Oh, okay.
We're to the series that I've read. This is a series that even though it is 4 books, I've read the third, and I actually read it all. The first book. It wasn't a flaw.
wasn't cursed.
It wasn't cursed.
The third book curse might be broken.
I wouldn't go that far.
There's potential.
There is potential.
Oh crap. I'm trying to think of the name of the series. Okay. So the first book, and I believe it's the further name for the series, is Autopsy of a Fairy Tale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Beauty and the Beast mystery suspense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it is so good.
I thought you'd like it.
Yeah, you recommended it to me, and
I did.
I read it. I read it whenever I was dying. I loved it. I loved the first one. The first one does Beauty and the Beast. It is so cool. The first one does throw some supernatural elements in, but it is so cool. Like, I mean, I figured out who the murderer was, but
That's okay.
like, I really liked how they did it because the victims were the furniture and such. It was so cool. Like, I can't say enough. Like, it is such a good book. She has a lovely dog. It made me happy. It made me think of Piper. The second one, the only sad thing was her, because she moved from New York after an accident, and it turns out it was the Beast who hurt her under a curse, but like he was able to not fulfill the curse, but like her partner dies, and like he was like supposed to be like he was her romantic interest for the book, but he ends up dying. Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one she gets, it's Goldilocks. It is the idea, and it's a forensics of a fable, a Goldilocks murder mystery. You still have the Beauty and the Beast from the first book, except now she has a partner. Her new partner is, their last name is Gold. So this one, it's somebody kidnaps her. Like someone was going after victims that looked like her, just trying to get to her to get the gist right. He wasn't going to harm her. He just had an obsession with her. But I figured that out too. But it really well written. Couldn't say enough on it. And then the next one is Kidnapping of a Myth. And this one was based on Peter Pan.
Oh.
And this one, it was John and Michael were kidnapped. So they were kidnapped by Peter Pan, was not his real name. And Wendy contacts the Beast because she was just like, I was told if I ever had problems to call you by my late father. So he shows up, and you find out that her husband, Wendy's husband, and Pan were like close friends and were working together. And like you find out like there's another supernatural kind of element mixed in, but like doesn't really hold much to the actual thing. But Peter Pan is kind of like this steampunkish kind of thing going on. Like he's like steampunkish with his traps. Like for what's the youngest one? Michael?
Yeah.
Michael's the youngest.
Or no.
John. I think it's Michael. Michael's the youngest. John is the middle, right? I don't know.
Oh, my encyclopedic knowledge is gone.
Yeah, John has to be the middle. Top hat and glasses. That's John.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the middle.
Okay.
Michael's the baby.
Yeah, it has to be.
It has
Wendy,
to be.
Wendy, Michael. Is there a George? Why do
No.
I think there's a George?
I don't know.
Isn't that the dad? Is the dad George?
I think. Yes, the dad is George.
Oh, thank gosh.
Dad
Okay,
is George.
I was just like, George. And I'm like,
I'm pretty sure the dad is
that's not
George.
any of the names.
Anyway, the youngest, I'm pretty sure is Michael. Don't quote me. I can't remember that, but he was locked in a room that was filling up with water.
Oh, dear.
And like the door was welded shut. The Beast fixes everything because he's the Beast.
He's the Beast. He just does it.
And then, honestly, I don't know what he is. He's some type of supernatural something, but like you never find out what he is. All you know is he's like this unbreakable force. Like he's like almost invulnerable. Like the Beauty steps on a landmine and he runs and drags her off and like gets his back ripped up, but yet is fine in like an hour.
Yeah.
Like he has nothing wrong with him. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty much impenetrable. And I'm just like, how? What are you? You never really find out what he is. And then for John, the middle child, he was to fall from a cliff in this cage. He was like in this cage thing, and cables were supposed to snap and he was to fall. But meanwhile, the husband had it set up to, the boys were going to Neverland. They were flying to Neverland. So in Pan's mind, them being gone was them going to Neverland. And Wendy was supposed to join them when she was supposed to step on the landmine because that's what her husband had it set up because he was supposed to inherit all of their money. That didn't happen. They fix it. And then later they have to fix it again because they didn't realize the husband's connection. But it was really good. I'm waiting for the fourth one. I loved these books. I cannot say enough.
Yeah, you called me and you were just like, these were amazing. And I was just like, I am glad that they came across my recommended feed so that way I could give it to you because I knew you would like it. Like I wanted to read them, but also I was just kind of like meh because I don't like thrillers or like those kind of things. Like I like
it's
mystery.
just a suspense.
Yeah, I don't like the suspense and thriller part. I like the mystery, but like
I kind of want you to read the first one. I don't think you'll really like it. But
I might get.
I don't know. I don't think you'll love it as much as I do because I love this series.
Probably not. Because the thing is like, if it was like a mystery with like a more chill vibe.
Oh, that is not this.
Yeah, that would be what I go for. It's just like a mystery with a chill vibe.
Because you have to deal with like her PTSD and...
Oh, you see, no, I can't. I literally cannot.
For me, it was like, I liked it. I don't know how I was able to deal with that, but I liked it. I loved it. I thought it was so well written. It was something so different that I have seen. It was great. No complaints here. The next one, and I think this may be the last. The next one is The Other Belle.
Okay.
It's another Beauty and the Beast retelling. No shocker there. And it is where you have the father, you have the quote-unquote Belle from, like, the fairy tale, as they say. And then you have the other one, the other sister. And, like, their names pretty much, the one is Isabel, and I forget exactly the other. But, like, her nickname is Belle, and the other is, like, Izzy or something. I can't exactly remember that detail. So it's the one who is just Belle is not treated nicely by her father and her sister. Like, her sister tries, but, like, her sister is horrible. Her sister just wants to be a princess. Like, that's all she wants in life.
Fun.
Is to be a princess. And so pretty much the Beast, there's actually two of them. They're brothers. The oldest one, his curse is slightly different than that of the story. So he only turns into a beast every, like, full moon.
Oh.
And he's like that until the full moon's over. So it was really cool, though, because, like, he was to find the one to break the curse by a rose that was to light up. And it turned, so, like, the rose would to light to let him know, like, who it was, because it was, for him, it was the most knowledgeable and beautiful of the land, was to the one who would break his curse. And it happened to be Belle, like the other, not the mean one. So it was like her sister had that rose and tossed it out a window, and he watched it, and it hit the window by the basement where they locked her. And so he assumed it was the sister because the sister threw it. And when it landed by the window, it lit up. So he assumed it was because she touched it, it lit up, when it was lighting up because it was near the other. I'm probably doing a horrible job at explaining.
It's okay.
But anyway, so he comes and, like, it was a whole thing. It's very funny. Their banter's very cute. Because, like, the first time they meet, she, like, pretty much holds him at gunpoint. Because she just shows up and no one's to be home. And there's just this guy in her house. It's quite good. I don't know what else to say. It's really cute. His brother's cursed to be the beast the whole time. The sister doesn't end up falling in love with the one who's the beast the whole time. So, like, the curse stays for him because all she wants is to be a princess, and that's what he could have given her. But it was really cute. I really liked it. I thought it was a very good twist to the fairy tale.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that is it. That's all I got.
Hey, you did more than me.
That is all I have right now. I'm currently trying to read the last of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
You got this. I don't have anything. I'm failing miserably.
That is my next thing. And then I have another book that I need to read.
So, yeah. So, Belle is so far winning.
Again, novellas.
Hey, it counts.
I feel like they shouldn't.
I know, but, like, they also do. So it's kind of like, take the win when you can get it, I guess.
I mean, considering I'm a law student, I'll take it, but, like,
yeah.
I ain't happy with it.
I'm not happy about it, but I'll take it.
Because, like, now I'm terrified to read big books.
See, I don't know. Like, I guess it depends on the book. Because I know, like, there are some times when it says, like, the book is only, like, 2 hours long or something. And I'm just like, these are the longest 2 hours of my life. Yeah. And then there are other times when the book's, like, 12 hours long or something, and it's just going through, like, you're just going through it. So I guess it just depends. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean,
there's no answer.
Again, I would love to. That series did not fall to the third book curse. I am patiently waiting for the fourth one. I'm patient. No, I'm not patiently waiting. What am I kidding?
Not patient.
I'm not patient. It comes out in September. You best bet that Friday, you ain't getting me to do anything.
That's fine.
I think it's like the 27th or something.
That's fine. So that being said, we want to thank you guys for coming along today as we talked about our books that we've read so far this year that we've enjoyed. Of course, if you like this episode, if you like what you've been listening to, please consider following the podcast and sharing the episode with your friends. It really would help us to grow the show, and we would appreciate the support those actions would give. And hey, if you just want to leave a review, that would be okay too. And then what are we going to be talking about next time?
If we had a book club?
Yes, if we had a book club.
I've been gone, so I know nothing of what is happening.
Nothing much has changed. I fixed it, maybe, kind of. I don't know. I have to look. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about next time. If we were to have a book club, what that would look like. So that being said, thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.